Have you ever been drunk or high and came up with this truly amazing idea, but then became sober and realized it wasn't as amazing as you thought it was? If so, what was the idea? A friend of mine called me around 3 o'clock in the morning about a fantastic, groundbreaking idea he had for getting sunburn on your feet. He wears Crocs a lot, so I was actually kinda interested. Okay. So, like, cloth or something you can put on your feet that would keep you from getting sunburn from the holes. Socks. He was describing socks. Whilst high, I came up with the idea of making pens with white ink that would cover up any mistakes on white paper, realized not only that it had been done already, but that I had one in my backpack next to where I keep the pen I used to write down the idea. Edit, missed a word. I came up with that one in kindergarten. My mom then told me about whiteout lol. I wanted to write them demanding partial credit because I hadn't heard of it, so had the idea too. Mom said we were out of stamps. While taking what I thought was acid and turned out to be a 25N bomb, I was beyond confident that I had not only finally understand the truest, deepest secret of the universe, but that I had distilled the idea into an image that could be drawn out. I was certain that with that image I could remember everything about the true universal secrets when I came down. The next day I looked at the paper, and it was a line with a circle on each end, like a dumbbell. I have no idea what it means. When taking on acid, I had a trip where I flew into space, saw the entire universe on a cosmic wall, and heard what the meaning of life was. When I opened my eyes, I wrote down the meaning to life in my phone. After sobering up, I looked at my notepad, and all I wrote down was walls. Running for my local school board, I had a lot of issues with the way the education works in our country, and believed the best way to fix the system was by running an honest campaign and promising to fight for the change that would help kids learn better. Ultimately, I sobered up and realized an, at the time, unemployed, stoned 24-year-old with no kids was not the best candidate. My friend is a lawyer, and when he was in law school did a summer internship to Ghana studying international law. We were like two blunts deep, and he came up with the brilliant idea to make chairs in Ghana because everyone he saw there was just sitting on the ground. He was convinced we could have made a fortune selling chairs. In my first year of engineering in uni, one of the design projects was to come up with a chair made of cardboard. The idea was to make a chair supportive and comfortable enough, whilst also being easy to assemble, by cutting out shapes on a large piece of cardboard so as to keep the shipping costs low. The winning design was supposed to be implemented, and if my memory serves correctly, the initial pilot program was going to be for a small community in Ghana. Edit, I don't have time to properly consider most replies at the moment, but I promise I'll get my way to them in the foreseeable future. I have, however, replied to some that jumped out at me. Thanks to everyone for the love. I had this idea for a movie in a similar vein of Cabin in the Woods, where these people move into a haunted house, except the plot is from the antagonist's perspective, where the ghosts haunting the house treat it like a job and have interviews in front of a camera, reality show style, venting about how tedious the little aspects of the job are. The premise was this ghost had reluctantly picked up and followed this family to this new house in order to keep haunting them, and inadvertently stepped on another ghost's jurisdiction, and they'd bicker about who haunts who. Antics ensue. I realize now that this is more or less just what we do in the shadows. Damn you, Taika. Edit, alright guys, I'm trying to make it as a musician and have made decent progress so far, and when I do, I'll go the Atlanta or Dave route and bring this up in a hopefully eventual pitch meeting. Thanks for your encouragement, y'all, and please don't steal my idea. Maybe give me 5 years. As teenagers, my friend and I used to get really stoned and go sit in this particular diner for hours and drink coffee until we sobered up. One time 2 cops in uniform came in and sat down a few tables away and ordered some food. At first we were kind of paranoid, but they didn't seem to be paying us any attention. My friend was the type of guy who liked to do wacky shit just to be funny, especially on a dare. He was also a big proponent of marijuana legalization. Like, he talked about it all the time. I told him I thought it would be hilarious to go up and ask the cops their thoughts on marijuana legalization. We were both still pretty baked, and he thought it was a funny idea too, so on a whim he decided to do it. He took off his jacket and set it on the bench next to him and walked calmly over to their table and began talking with them. I couldn't hear what they were saying, but the conversation appeared to be polite and lasted a minute or two. He came back to the table with a big stone grin on his face. "Aw man, those cops seem okay to me." They both said they think weed should be legal, and it's a waste of their time to go after pot smokers. A little while later the cops finished their food and left. One of them even smiled and nodded to my friend on the way out. We watched them get into their patrol car and drive out of the parking lot. We stayed for about another half hour and then left to catch the bus home. We got to the bus stop, and just as we both lit up a cigarette, a cop car pulled up with the same two cops inside. They had been sitting in the parking lot next door with their lights off waiting for us to come out of the diner. We obviously weren't old enough to be smoking cigarettes, and a check of our IDs confirmed that. They searched both of us and found a 5-sack of weed and a pipe in my friend's jacket. We both got tickets for underage smoking. He got cited for the pipe and marijuana, was given a court date, and taken home to his parents in the back of a police car. Thanks for watching. Bye.